Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the Chelsea versus Everton game taking place on Sunday afternoon, with the kickoff being at 1:30 PM UK time, obviously taking place at Stamford Bridge. And again, I remind you of it again, we've set ourselves a sub-target of 45,000 subscribers by the end of September. And if we do reach that, one of our subscribers will receive a signed Chelsea kit, and not signed by any of us, signed by a Chelsea player. Which, who doesn't want that? That'd be incredible. So if you want a chance to win that, please make sure you subscribe, because we'd massively appreciate it. And it would just be great to hit the target by the end of September. But getting straight into the preview, talking about opposition, Everton, like we usually do. You know, Everton are a really good team. You know, they're not to be underestimated. They started the season very strong with a 1-0 win over Stoke City at home. And last week they drew 1-1 to Manchester City, away at Manchester City, which is a very good result. Obviously, Manchester City had Kyle Walker sent off just before half-time, I think. So, they had that advantage for a while until Schneiderlin got sent off. Everton signed loads of players this window. Loads of them. The likes of Wayne Rooney, Gylfi Sigurdsson from Swansea, Michael Keane from Burnley, Jordan Pickford, the young goalkeeper from Sunderland, David Klaassen from Ajax. I think overall they signed like 12 or 13 players or something, which is just mad. How about we sign 12 or 13 players? A bit better than the players they signed, but still 12 or 13 players would be great. Obviously they did lose Romelu Lukaku, who has been by far the best goal scorer over the last few seasons. Obviously lost him to Manchester United, but they still strengthened their squad in a sense. Maybe they're not as good up front anymore, but overall their squad is definitely stronger than it was last season. So although we beat them, 5-0 at home and 3-0 away last season, like I said, they're not to be underestimated. You cannot underestimate them. They were, they at some point it looked like they might even challenge United for that 6th spot in the top 6, which would have been incredible. Obviously they fell back a little bit towards the end, but still, they had a good season, and like I said, going to be a difficult game. Morgan Schneiderlin picked up 2 yellow cards against Manchester City and is therefore suspended against us, which is obviously good. Always better if they don't have players that usually start against us. Also, they have a fair few injuries. Obviously, Seamus Coleman is still recovering from his broken shin or whatever it was. Ross Barkley is injured, Funes Mori is injured, as well as Balassi, and apparently also new signing David Klaassen is a doubt. I'm not sure whether he will actually miss the game, but apparently he's a doubt. Another advantage to us could be that they played Hajduk, not sure about the pronunciation, I'm sorry, split from Croatia in the Europa League qualifier last night. It finished 1-1, but they went through an aggregate, so obviously they played away in Croatia last night. It's not that long of a flight, but it's still, it's still a game midweek when, compared to us, we had the full week off to train and recover from the last game, basically. So that is obviously an advantage. Getting straight into the press conference, there have been some major news, I'd say. So, first thing Antonio Conte said is that everyone is fully fit and available with the exception of Eden Hazard. But he said Eden Hazard is improving very well, and tonight he's playing with the under-23 side against Everton. And Conte said, I see him every day. It's very important to give him the right time to recover very well. He's an important player for us. Another news about Hazard, he has been called up to the Belgium squad for the upcoming international break by good old Roberto Martinez. Like, fuck's he doing? What is he doing? Like, Roberto Martinez, former Everton manager, current Belgium manager, I'm on about. So, Eden Hazard picked up an injury while being on international duty after the club season finished. And now, when his parent club Chelsea don't play him because we feel that he's not fully ready yet to play, they call him up when they're only playing Gibraltar, however you pronounce it in English, and Greece. You don't need him for that. There have been reports or rumours that he might only be going just to be there and say hello and stuff and be there because he's obviously the captain of the national team. So they maybe just want him there and won't even play him. If that's the case, fair enough. But if they plan to play him, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. You can't injure our player. We pay his wages. You can't injure him, basically, in training and then call him up to play before we let him play. That's out of order. You can't do that. It's ridiculous. It just pisses me off. And basically all that Conte said to it, he is surprised. He was surprised about the call-up, but respects the decision. Well, Antonio, I don't. I don't respect the decision in the slightest. But, there's nothing we can do. So, let's hope he at least won't play, and like those minor rumours are true that he's only going there to be there basically. After that, he said there's still no news on Diego Costa. Not much else to say about that. After that, Conte again said he's working with the team, trying to improve, but the club are trying to strengthen the squad. He also said, if we stay with these players that we have right now, I am very happy. I mean, I just hope there's not an indicator that we might not sign anyone, in the last week of the transfer window. Really hope we don't sign no one. That would be just dreadful. But I don't think it means that, but obviously some people could think it's an indication for that, but I don't think so myself. Then he spoke about beating Tottenham. He said, we sent out a message to us, an important message to us in an emergency situation. We were able to win against a really strong team. Me personally, I'm just a bit surprised that he called it an emergency situation, if I'm honest. I mean, I agree with him that it was an emergency situation. Kind of still is, Let's see if the win over Tottenham just papered over some cracks or if we're actually good now, basically. But yeah, no, I agree with him. It was definitely an important win, not just to other teams in the Premier League, not just to the fans, but to the team itself to get that self-belief back in there. But yeah, that's basically it from the press conference. So now coming to Chelsea, talking about us, talking about how I think we'll line up and how I think we'll do as well. And to be honest, I'm just guessing here. It's very difficult to predict how we're going to line up and how we're going to, which formation even we're going to use on the weekend. So obviously, Pedro is back from his injury, according to Antonio Conte, is now fit to start as well. Also says Fabregas is obviously back from suspension, which he served against Tottenham. So the question is, will we stick with the 3-5-2/3-5-1-1, which we used against Tottenham, which obviously helped us to beat them? So, can't say it didn't work. Or will we go back to our basically standard 3-4-3? Me personally, I think we actually will go back to the 3-4-3. Then obviously we have the next question. As Cahill is still suspended, and David Luiz will more than likely go back to his usual centre-back position, will it be Christensen or Rudiger filling that third centre-back spot next to Azpilicueta and David Luiz? So this is the lineup I think we'll go with. Obviously, Thibaut Courtois in goal, like I said, in the 3-4-3 formation. Azpilicueta, David Luiz and Antonio Rudiger as the three centre-backs. Although me personally, I would prefer Andreas Christensen to start. I think it will be Rudiger. I think Christensen's just impressed. And, when you impress, not that Rudiger had a terrible game, but I think Christensen impressed more. And I think that's the way it should work when someone impresses. Unless he doesn't impress in training, obviously. I don't know about that. He should get a chance to start the next game if there is obviously the option. On the wing, the wing backs will stay the same, Moses and Alonso. And the two central mids, I really do hope that Bakayoko is still fit to play on that game against Tottenham. Didn't, wear him out completely and now he's out for another month again. I really hope so. But obviously, Antonio Conte said everyone is available and fit. So I'd go with N'Golo Kante and Timo Bakayoko. And the front three, as I said, Pedro is back, fully back from injury now. So I expect it to be Pedro, Willian on the two wings, and Morata starting as the striker. Pretty sure that Morata will start. So like I said, what I told you now is the lineup that I think we'll go with. But my personal preferred lineup would actually be a bit of a more attacking version of the 3-5-2 that we played against Spurs. So instead of David Luiz sitting basically behind and a bit deeper than Bakayoko and Kante as the two centre mids, I'd rather use that formation but play Cesc Fabregas basically higher up the pitch ahead of Bakayoko and Kante, sort of as the third centre mid. So basically just a more attacking version of the same formation, because that I think is basically our best formation. I don't think Willian has done all too well recently. I think Pedro should start next to or behind Morata. Fabregas can feed them with balls. He has enough protection by Bakayoko and Kante. I think they could work really well. Obviously, it gives even more running duties to our wing-backs if there's no attacking wingers ahead of them. So, we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, I think we'll go with the 3-4-3, like I said earlier. So, Everton, although having picked up 4 points already, they've only scored 2 goals. Like I said, 1-0 against Stoke and drew 1-1 against Man City. Both goals actually scored by Wayne Rooney. But on the other hand, they've only conceded 1 as well. So I expect a very tight game. I do hope that we can pick up our first clean sheet of the season. Like I said, they only scored 2 goals. Not that they can't score against us, but I hope we pick up a clean sheet because it's time, I think. So, I hope we score a goal in the first half, then make it 2 on the count in the second half. So my prediction is a 2-0 win to us. But yeah, that's really it from me. Leave me all of your predictions and your predicted lineups down in the comment section below. Again, I remind you of it again. Please help us hit our target of 45,000 subscribers by the end of September. So if you're not subscribed yet, please click the subscription button, you know, basically under me to subscribe, or when it pops up, click that thing over here to subscribe. I'd massively appreciate that. Also, check out my social media links, which you can see here, somewhere here. My Instagram, my Twitter, I'd massively appreciate it if you follow me there as well. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Now you can click that. Click that button up there to subscribe if you haven't already. You know, that'd just be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. Can't wait for the game on Sunday. And I'll see you next time.